What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we're going to be talking about some upcoming news here for some events that are happening on the weekend. You guys might be interested in that. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why I was so disappointed. So first up, let's talk about the news here right now. Hey, y'all, we have some news for the upcoming events this Thursday, February 19th. So that's going to be tomorrow. We're planning to launch a progressive event for 15x chance to summon the Predator from Ancient, Primal, and Sacred Shards. And this event's only going to last 24 hours. So they're going to try to, get us to loosen up our shards just before the big Heroes Path event. Obviously for the fusion and whatever is in that Heroes Path. And then they also disclosed that on Friday, February 20th, they're going to be launching the Sweethearts Path event. Now that's already in the Play and Play calendar, so it's nothing new there. But the rewards have been announced, and it's going to be the perfect souls for the fusion. Noldua the Gloaming and her partner Solanar the Gleaming. So we got two perfect souls in this Heroes Path. Now we can quickly talk about Solanar and Noldua here. So Noldua is going to be the fusion. I think she's a very fine champion. I don't think she's busted or anything like that. She has a good team revive. Aesthetically, she looks awesome. I'm a big fan of her aesthetics. Her A1, 2-turn enfeeble, very strong. Weaken, also decent against clan boss, for example, if you're starting out. Has decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown, very solid with a strip. So that's very good. And then, of course, the team revive, solid value here as well. Her passive, not too bad, but honestly, not too crazy. Accuracy in all battles here. So she's a fair champion. I don't think she's busted or anything like that. With her partner, Solanar, I don't think together they are that insane. Now, Solanar, if you guys watched my most recent live arena video, is pretty busted. I played him a couple times in live arena, and yeah, he is a menace. He could be a counter pick, but I think he's probably going to make it into some people's roster, probably full-time. His A1 is actually a menace to play against in the arena. He has a 100% chance of counterattacking with when an extra turn or an instant turn happens. So this is really strong against mythicals. And then he has a 35% chance when fully booked of counterattacking with his A1 whenever an enemy has a turn meter increase. Now this happens all the time. Relics, gemstones, masteries, even some champions as passives, just passively increase their turn meter. Is all things that you need to be considering when you're facing against Solanar. His ability here is very strong, but he is a little bit weak to lockout. So if you lock out this A2, he becomes susceptible to debuffs, and then you shut down his buff swapping ability, which is actually nuts. Otherwise, his abilities are very solid. This ability gets refreshed quite often because of the condition that it gains 1 turn reduction after extra turn instant turns, for example. 40% damage from books also makes it slap, and his passive is really cool. We saw a Solenar come back from the dead, and he almost wiped out our team because the Magma Shield actually reflects damage back, and it's big enough that it can keep him alive. I think most people, if you're going to play Solenar seriously in Arena, you're going to build him up with 100% crit rate. You're not going to rely on the partner bonus at all. But in PvE, you can definitely rely on the partner bonus a little bit. Build him with no crit rate and then just go hams on the attack stat and crit damage. But if you're going to play him in live arena or PvP or whatever, you're definitely going to build him with 100% crit rate. So you're not handicapping yourself by relying on the partner bonus. So both their souls are up for grabs this weekend. Well, how are we going to get points for that? We're going to get points by getting artifacts and accessories. So basically Dungeon Diver or Gear Hunter or whatever. And summoning champions from shards. Now, there's also going to be 25 fragments of Noldua the Fusion remaining in this event. So if you're short, you can definitely go for the full 25, try to catch up. If you have done every single event up to this point, you don't need to do the full 25. You only need to do 15, which is going to lighten up the cost a little bit for you. And then it looks like there's going to be some other goodies as well, including the avatar frame. I don't like that they usually put the avatars after the 5-star blessings or after the big rewards. It's a little bit of a, here's a piece of cheese, go get it kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But hey, that's up for grabs if you kind of overshoot or if you're a big spender and you really like that stuff. So why am I so disappointed here? So the reason why this video is actually 8 hours late is because I actually read the news info incorrectly. So initially I thought that they were offering the perfect soul for Noldua and her partner Solanar the Gleaming as a guaranteed champion. And I made a full video and I explained my thoughts and everything. And I was already cooking up ideas of how the meta is going to be all busted and stuff because Solanar is going to ruin everything. Everyone's going to have Solanar, etc., etc., etc. And then before the video went live, I reread the notes again. And then I was like, oh, wow, it's only their souls. Oh, that changes a lot because that actually is very disappointing. Because as far as we know, we have no idea whether Solenar will be obtainable in any kind of guaranteed way. It's entirely possible that they offer him basically in 10 or 15x events, and that's it. He's just going to be part of the Void Legendary pool that people will chase and, be, a big money generator for Ray. Now, I would say it's probably a very high percentage chance that that is probably going to be the case, and we will never see Solanar in any kind of guaranteed event. Now, like I said, I was very disappointed when I read the news afterwards and then said that, hey, this champion is not going to be guaranteed, because I would 100,000,000% go for this champion and his 5-star soul in the same hero's path. Basically just consider it like Leonardo 2.0. And even if that jeopardized my chance of getting Bayek, in a month or 6 weeks time, I would still go for Solenar, because I think Solenar is going to be at that level where he's probably going to fit into a lot of people's rosters. He's very, very good. So congratulations if you guys have him. Just going to turn on the player and play calendar here, just having a look ahead. During the weekend, we will be having a 2x Dragon boost for speed gear. So if you wanted to do the hero's path for Noldua's soul or Solenar's soul, you can actually grind and spend energy in the Dragons tournament for some gear perhaps. So that will make things a little bit more digestible. They haven't really updated the hero's path details yet. Apparently only 238 people are interested. That's actually kind of hilarious. But there it is. It's still there. It's not updated yet or anything. There's also an opportunity to perhaps double dip with the champion training on the last day at the start of the hero's path as well with the dragon tournament. But obviously the bulk of your points will come from shards. Now, will it be worth it to get, for example, the Fusion's 5-star soul? So the Fusion actually does benefit a little bit from Solenar's bonus as well. Basically, with Solenar on the same team, she doesn't require accuracy in her kit, which is kind of nice. Which, you can build her faster and higher HP and all that stuff. But honestly, they don't really need each other to be good, and they're fine or good champions on their own. So I think for the most part, I wouldn't rely on the partner bonus and just use Noldua as a, kind of like a debuffer stat line. You build her with speed, HP, and accuracy, and then she'll just do good work for you. She's also a reviver as well. So some kind of healing would be good. She doesn't have healing in her kit, which is one of the weak spots in her overall kit. So giving her a little bit of healing would be very good. And the 5-star soul for her it's worth it because it gives her accuracy and it's going to increase whatever ability you choose for a blessing. I wouldn't be maybe I would think about maybe like something like Life Harvest. That would be interesting on her. Probably Banner would be interesting on her as well. If you're going to use her in the arena, probably Lightning Cage. But the 5-star banner is 5-star blessing, is going to give her some accuracy, which she will need unless you have a Solanar on the same team all the time. But do I think it's a high value blessing for her? Probably not. You can probably get away without it. But like with any champion and big blessings, she's going to get a boatload of stats right away. But you can probably get away with a 1-star for her. If you buy a 1-star for her in the shop, she's going to get a bunch of HP and you're good to go, right? So you don't necessarily need the 5-star unless you're tackling some really crazy content and you need some crazy gear stats on her. But otherwise, I think it's a skip for the 5-star soul. Now, I did do a little bit of research here, and then we did find the most comparable hero's path to this kind of setup. And actually, it was kind of recent. We're going to jump in here on Hell Hades' website. Make sure you guys obviously check this out if you guys haven't already. Just a little website here called hellhades.com. And they have the event objectives here for the Raphael 5-star soul, along with April's 5-star soul, along with fragments for Sanguine Maria. So that was the Halloween fusion not too long ago. And it's set up in the hero's path. It's set up with 3 branches, which is probably what's going to happen with the upcoming Sweetheart hero's path. And it has the exact same requirements. And it's going to be, it's going to be getting artifacts and accessories. So Gear Hunter / Dungeon Diver and summoning champions from shards. So that's going to be the exact same, guys. Exact same. Going over the path breakdown in terms of overall points. So if you see here, for each soul, it's about 15 sacred shards worth of points. And for 75 fragments, it's going to cost you about 10 sacred shards worth of points. It's a little bit different because it's using fragments from a epic champion versus like actual fragments for the legendary champion. So in this case, we have 25 fragments, which is worth 25% of a fusion champion versus 75 fragments, which is not 25% of a fusion champion. It's about 20%. So I would say 25% of a fusion champion is probably going to be a little bit more than 10 sacred shards. I would say probably around 11 sacred shards. So just to be safe around that kind of point level. Since there is a minimum that we must achieve for the Noldua fusion, perhaps we would use the minimum fusion investment criteria here listed. So 18,250 points, which is the equivalent of about 4 sacred shards. So if you've done every single event up until this point, expect to spend about 4 to 5 sacred shards for the remaining fragments in the hero's path, and then you guys can be done with the Noldua fusion. But this gives you a rough baseline of what we should expect. Here are the point breakdowns for everything as well. And we have the standard shard breakdown here with no additional bonuses. Sometimes they give us 2x boost on certain shards. For example, if they gave us like a 2x boost on ancients or something, that makes it more worthwhile to use ancient shards in the event. But in this case, it didn't have anything. So wouldn't expect anything for this upcoming hero's path. But hey, I think this gives us a very, very good comparable, outline or estimate for the upcoming hero's path in terms of overall cost. About 15 for the blessings, so Solanar, and then obviously the fusion. We could also look towards an older hero's path with the Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Hearts and the Knave of Hearts. The Knave of Hearts, if you guys don't remember, the Knave of Hearts was also a fusion, and then the Queen of Hearts was the event dungeon boss during that entire collab. And then we saw here that they did have a hero's path for them at the same time. Both their souls were available in this one as well. You see the Queen of Hearts here with her avatar and the Knave of Hearts on the right hand side. Now this one was slightly different because it was shards and training, so it's not as close as a comparison, I think, as to April and Wrath soul hero path. So this one also didn't have fusion fragments in it. So I think the Wrath reward structure is a lot closer to what we can expect. But yeah, this is this old one, this old hero's path is a little bit comparable. We can look at the point totals here as well, just for a little bit of reference. And we can see here, each soul would cost you about 16 sacred shards worth of points. And we said that Raphael and April's souls were costing about 15 each. This little bit of discrepancy could be because it's training versus dungeon diving. Maybe they, think training's easier. I don't know. But, generally we're looking at that kind of cost. And overall, it's been pretty consistent. I think Leonardo's 5-star soul was 19, I think, 19 or 18 sacred shards. But obviously, probably paying a bit of a premium for his hero's path, back in November. But yeah, I think Raphael and April's hero's path is pretty close to what we should expect from Noldua and the Solanar. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this event. Do you guys think it is something to go for? I think it's generally going to be very, very low engagement. The fact that Solenar is not offered in any way right now just means not a lot of people have him. And then putting his soul in this event, is not really, it's just not really going to get that much engagement. So I think it's probably going to be similar to, like I said, Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts in terms of overall engagement. The Queen of Hearts was a winner-take-all champion for an event. I forgot which one it was. I think it was a dungeon tournament. I think it was event dungeon tournament, maybe. Something like that. But yeah, the Queen of Hearts was basically a very, very hard to get champion. And then they offered his soul up. So I can't imagine it having very high engagement. I would expect the same for the Solanar soul this time. The fusion soul also probably very low engagement, so people are probably just going to finish off the fragments and then just call it a day if you were even going for the fusion at all. Now there's nothing wrong with saving resources because there's obviously lots of things we're going to be able to spend resources on coming up. We have the Edward guarantee most likely coming. We have the Bayek guarantee most likely coming. They're most likely going to have also a guarantee champion for Pontiff, which is the event dungeon boss, right? Like, so we're expecting Edward. We're expecting Bayek from, here you go, Bayek from the Barbarian faction. I think Bayek's still, he's still really good. And I think he's going to be, obviously the featured champion in this entire Assassin's Creed stuff. And then we have the Knights Revs here. And then I believe Pontiff should be a winner take all in some kind of event, whether it be training, champion chase, we don't know. But I believe he should be showing up. If historically accurate, since in the past they've always offered the event dungeon champion in some kind of winner take all event, except for the mythical event dungeon. Pontiff should be a winner take all in some kind of event. So nothing wrong with saving resources. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that and it was a little bit informative. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think and what you guys are going for. Thanks so much for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys. Sorry for the late news today. Like I said, a little bit disappointed when I reread the news info notes, but definitely wanted to get my 2 cents out there for you guys that are watching. Appreciate you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.